Good morning, everyone. I am in service to you in this moment. And I just want to thank you so much for watching us live or on the replay here for the Elevate series kickoff, which is amazing. I know that everybody is so pressed for time, right? We don't have time for anything, let alone on a Monday morning. So thank you for just being here. And let me know that you're here. So if you could please drop a yes or a kind good morning into the comments so that I can confirm that you can see me, you can hear me, we're not having any tech challenges. I would certainly appreciate that. I'm going to be relying a little heavily on my notes here today because I really feel the gravity of this moment. I feel the responsibility of this moment with so much going on in the world, especially in entrepreneurship. And I just want to make sure that I'm staying on track and delivering my absolute highest and best to you because there's so much wisdom and advice that I want to impart to you today so that really we help you navigate, especially these next 4 to 6 months. Because I know from a lot of the conversations that I've been having with entrepreneurs, perhaps on the surface, it feels like everything is fine, 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 but we're rushed, right? We're on autopilot, we're coping, we're pushing, we're forcing. But beneath that, perhaps in your quiet moments, you are, thank you, Mindy, for saying you're fully present, appreciate you. But maybe perhaps in our quiet moments, we are feeling afraid. We're panicking a little bit. We're exhausted. We are so burdened mentally right now, trying to problem solve and troubleshoot the 16 different challenges ahead of us at any given moment. And it can feel very lonely. It can feel very lonely if you don't have somebody next to you who understands your unique situation. And I know that I feel that way at times as well. Being a single mom and a CEO, I don't have a spouse that I am talking to and troubleshooting with at the end of the night or a business partner. And that can create a really lonely experience. And so I'm here for you. I'm holding the space for you, bringing in 20 other really incredible powerhouse multi-industry leaders who have thrived during economic downturns, just like I have, in every single one for the last 20 years. And there's a reason for that. It's because in times of adversity and challenge, we know how to activate ourselves. We know how to adapt and do things that we don't necessarily want to do, that aren't necessarily easy, but we know it's necessary for a short term. We know it's necessary to sprint in a moment like this so that we not just stabilize, but we can actually grow and use this as an opportunity. And I know sometimes when we're feeling really stuck or hurt, we're grieving, we're exhausted, it's hard to hear cliches like, thrive in 2025. Not to make fun of anybody who's like hashtagging that. It is really hard to hear that when it feels like we're just hanging on for survival moment by moment. And I'm hoping that throughout the month of May, as I am doing the hard, not easy thing by going live, by dedicating my time to this series, that I can start to breathe life and commitment and energy and action into you to activate you to step into your true self, like your highest and best self, that somewhere deep down, you might know this is an opportunity for you to lead. And it might be tempting, but there might be technological challenges, or you blink and the day is already over, and then you step into frustration that you didn't get enough done that day, and you might be beating yourself up a little bit. Like, those human things happen, but there might be this nudge inside of you, this calling, that there's something that there's a wisdom that based on all of your experience, that tells you what to predict, like where humanity is going and how you can support your community. And I'm going to encourage that we strengthen and crank up the volume on that voice, because that's the voice that is calling you to fulfill your vision and your purpose and your legacy. So we don't want to get distracted or too exhausted or in avoidance or coping and let that voice diminish. If anything, we want to pump up the volume there. I'm going to show you how to lean in with unwavering excellence and to create meaningful connection with other leaders around you that you can collaborate with so that you can be better together and end each day feeling deeply fulfilled, safe, and free. I can't think of anything that sums up my core values better than that. So I'm going to share it again. I'm going to show you how to lean in and meaningfully connect with unwavering excellence with other leaders around you that you can collaborate with so that you can be better together in this moment. And I want you ending each day feeling deeply fulfilled, safe, and free. That is the bedrock of the Elevate series, the way that I lead my company and the way that I live my life. And if that resonates with you at all, I would love to hear a yes or something in the comments, or let me know what your core values are, because this is an opportunity to connect with like-minded, aligned entrepreneurs like yourself so that you don't have to feel so lonely in the world. If you're new to me, I encourage you to go check me out online at one of my mini websites. And Megan, my incredible team member who's in the background here helping me, she can even maybe figure out how to put some of those in chat or on screen so that you know where to go find me. And really look at my history, look at my accomplishments, look at the work that I do in the world, not as a, ooh, look at me and how great I am, but more because there's so much I can offer you. And I want to offer that to you. I'm not like most gurus and experts and service providers out there that honestly are transactional with you. I'm really somebody who has a heart of service. Ask anybody who knows me and they will vouch for me and my very sensitive heart that is here just to help any way and every way that I can. Either maybe I could introduce you to somebody in my network. I could help you get a publishing deal for that book that you need to launch out in the world. And maybe you just need a conversation so that we can take all of that noise and mental clutter and help to calm that down and distill it into a point of focus and a linear plan that's prioritized and structured so that you know what to do from here. I don't know about you, but months ago, I just felt like everything was so twisted up in a knot in my head. There were so many different things that I was troubleshooting and trying to think through and strategize. Because when a moment like this occurs in humanity, and I'm about to go into some of the bullet points of what I've been seeing in the last, 5 or so weeks. But when a moment like this hits, the entrepreneur mind kicks in overdrive and works 24/7 trying to not just map out one possible solution to make sure that your company is surviving in a moment like this, or that you're saving your team members or providing for your family. You have to map out 16 different possibilities because who knows what's going to happen? None of us are certain. And you have so much responsibility and pressure because you have a giving heart to help people and you want to protect everybody around you, which makes it so complex and interconnected, makes it really difficult to find a clear path forward. And I actually want to talk to you a little bit later into our session today about how AI was a tool that I was able to use to help unwind some of what I was experiencing, especially the complexities of single motherhood with CEO, et cetera, the people that I'm responsible for. And I was able to use it to help me think through some really complex things that helped me make a clear path forward. And we're going to couple that with some well-being to make sure that you have cognitive resilience so that you are thinking more clearly, you are more energetic and strong every single day, and that you have the support of a community and other tools and resources available to you so that you feel like, I've got this. You wake up in the morning, you don't feel defeated. You feel like, I know what I'm here to do today. I've got this. I trust myself. And we're moving forward and we're growing. And that's what the Elevate series is all about, because unfortunately, we are really at sort of this red line in our mental health right now. And I refuse. I literally have an inability. I cannot stand by and just wait and see what happens and just watch like a deer in the headlight, like other people that don't know what to do. I forced myself into innovation to holding this space because that's who I would be proud to be. The alternative is not somebody that I would be proud to be. And that is a guiding question. Who would you be proud to be, Amber? And I invite you to steal that and really use that as a guiding principle for you. Okay, so right now, what am I saying? Where does all of this come from? Because you're plugged in to social media and what's going on in the news. You're not blind to the fact that inflation is rising. There's probably a recession happening, tons of layoffs. AI is on the rise. But we're also seeing things like we are about to experience a rock in our supply chain because of the trade wars that are happening and the ships that are coming in. There have been reports of ports not even having ships in the port, or cargo is 40% down from what it used to be. Things like this are happening. So okay, we have a baseline for what's going on in the news, and I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I am curious. And I want to know what the real story is. If you want to know the real story, let me know in chat and comments that yes, me too. I'm really curious what's actually going on, because there's this noise above the surface and then beneath the surface. Got some people texting me right now, cheering me on. Cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But what's going on beneath the surface, right? You might only have a couple people maybe that you are talking to saying, hey, what are you seeing? I don't know. What are you seeing? Thank you, Mendy. Appreciate that. So that's the journey that I've been on for 5 weeks now. It was back in August of last year when I started to look ahead, and I even told my clients, I was pretty public about it on some interviews that I was doing and some summits that I had and some events that I had. I said, hey, everyone, this is back in August. We are about to see a shift post-election, and I want you to get ready, because on the other side of the election, I think that stuff's going to hit the fan, and you want to be ready. You want to be prepared. So get your stuff together now, prepare your platform, optimize it, make sure that you are taking care of you so that by the time this shift occurs, you can rise up as the next new leaders. So where does this even come from? Back in 2020, remember when COVID first broke out? Everything got really quiet for about 2 weeks. Really, really remember this with me. Go back in time. Close your eyes if you need to. Right when the news first hit. Do you remember how much that rocked us emotionally and mentally? The shock of it all? We had no idea what was about to happen. We had never experienced a global pandemic to that degree. I mean, it was honestly very traumatic for most people. They couldn't go out of their homes in some cases. They had family members passing away. We have women going into hospitals, into labor. Everybody's wearing masks, and her husband couldn't even come with her. I mean, stuff was crazy back then. And we had never experienced anything like that before. And so there for 2 weeks, we were just stunned. And then after that, what happened? You saw a group of entrepreneurs that were resilient. They knew how to adapt. They had an ability to rise above what they wanted to do, which was probably to hide, wait and see, be glued to the TV, drown, it's our human nature to drown in negativity and chaos, right? But there was a group of leaders that said, nope, I'm being called into service. And they went live, just like I did now. And I did as well. I actually created the Elevate series of the week that COVID first broke out, because I got this deeper calling to hold space for humanity. One thing that I'm going to encourage you to consider doing as well, you could easily do this. It's a tool called StreamYard that plugs into your social media channels and allows you to live stream content out freely. It's easy. Anybody could do this right now. That group of leaders that went live became the new leaders of the new normal. You had companies that were exploding in success. And some of them were prepared for that. And some of them, like me, I was not. I had no idea. This wasn't a grand plan. COVID hit at the same time for everybody. And I just felt a deeper calling to serve. So I showed up and my company went boom. We grew by thousands of percentage in reach and engagement within the first week or two. I mean, a flood of speaking engagements came in. People wanted to hire me for all sorts of different things. We ended up opening up new revenue lines that I had never done those services before, but people were asking for them, and it was enough to generate over $100,000 in new revenue within that first month. And I was over here just like hanging on for dear life as the CEO. But I was willing to do whatever it took because rewind by a week. When COVID first hit, I had an emergency team meeting. My team comes in and I said, it's going to get pretty gnarly out there. A lot of companies are going to be laying people off. They won't be prepared for this. And I leaned in and I said, but I will not lay a single one of you off. You are safe because I will do literally whatever it takes to protect you because you are my chosen family and we need to have each other's backs. We need to be strong. So don't play into the media. I need you to stay mentally strong up here. I need you to take care of yourself, get extra sleep, take care of you. If you are overwhelmed, go take a break. But I've got you. I'm going to take care of this. And that's exactly what I did. So whether you're ready for it or not, there's still a moment to show up and notice what I said in service. I didn't pitch anything. I didn't force you to opt in for my whatever it is. It was just live. I never even talked about my services or anything. You can do that as a minimum. You could do that because in a state like this, when there's so much misinformation and so much artificial created content, we are all craving what is real. Who is real? Who can I trust out there? So if you come out on a stage, whether it's an email, a podcast, video series, live stream series, like whatever it is, whatever you're willing to do, and just share and be real with people, you're going to be the leader of the next new normal. And the window for that is open right now. Because what I observed in all of these conversations, and especially in the last couple of weeks, there's a shift, and I already see leaders emerging. In fact, just this morning, I noticed that Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi are hosting their next challenge for this exact same reason as the Elevate series. It was very validating, actually. So you can go research that online if you want to attend that. But they see the opportunity. And I want to be very clear here that I think there's a difference between taking advantage of a situation and being in service in a situation. I want to be the person who I would be proud to be in service in a situation. And I'm not reflecting on anybody else because frankly, it's none of my business and I'm not here to make assumptions and I'm not going to judge. I am only here in my lane, choosing to offer myself as fully and freely as I can in support of whoever wants to listen and engage. That I can control. Everything else, all of the other noise and the what ifs and the comparison, the imposter syndrome and the other people and what's happening, it's none of my business. Stay in your lane. But to say that I have now seen a shift in the last 5 weeks that I've been doing all of this research and studying as to what's happening in the marketplace, especially for entrepreneurship, because I love you guys. And this is my own vocation. I saw this feels a lot like the moment when COVID first hit. And there was a little bit of hysteria. There was so much noise. We didn't know what was going on or who to trust. We were glued to the media and waiting to see what would happen next. So that moment started about 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today, I got that nudge and I was like, oh man, really? And the calling said, it's time to go live again. And I want to be very clear about something with you because people make assumptions when they look at me. Oh, look how happy she is and smiley. And she's a great speaker. Look at her flowers and her awards and her books and stuff. Must be nice to be Amber. You have no idea. Okay. I'm an introvert. to the max. I am absolutely an introvert who has learned how to be extroverted in moments like this. I am somebody that comes from a long history of being insecure, shy, and feeling worthless in the world. Like everybody else is way better and way smarter than I am. I have a history of people pleasing and over delivering to seek approval from people. Like, seriously, all the odds are stacked against me. And there are reasons for that. Growing up, not having friends in school, super bullied in high school. In fact, in my book, Infinite Impact, I talk about when I was 16, a rock bottom moment. I got jumped. When I was 16 years old, I got jumped by a group of 5 very angry girls at a party that I didn't even know was set up for me. Total misunderstanding. So what I learned, I got a belief when I was young that it's safer to be invisible. Yeah. How about having that belief as an entrepreneur that when I am seen and heard, bad things happen? So even 20 years into this business, and I'm trying to appeal to you right now and get on your level here, 20 years into this business, going live with the Elevate series for now the second time, those feelings of fear don't just disappear. The feelings of introversion where I feel drained after speaking, that doesn't just go away because I have more experience at it. This is not easy for me, but I'm doing it because it's who I would be proud to be, because I want to lock arms with aligned entrepreneurs who want to collaborate and rise together in this moment and not let the news scare us and dictate what happens to us. I don't appreciate that. I don't accept that as true. I believe that this time, when our mental resilience is at a rock bottom, when AI is taking over, on track to replace 300 million jobs in less than 5 years, and to outsmart humans in a year and a half, if that. In a time when all of this is happening, I get still, I start doing data around me, and I think now is an opportunity. Where's the opportunity? And maybe I don't know yet. I launch books for a living. Okay. I'm the person that if you want to get your voice out into the world, I'll help you with branding and your website and your book launches and your digital marketing plan. I'm a business strategist. What's the opportunity in this moment in terms of transacting with people? I couldn't tell you that necessarily because I'm more focused on what's the opportunity to support people. How can I hold space? How can I show up? How can I lean in? And I'm going to give you some really tangible advice here in just a moment. But there's a deeper way of being, an essence that I'm spending time trying to get you to see the difference. Because when you show up and you're in service, karma takes care of you, baby. Karma protects you and it provides for you. Because think about the masses see you as somebody that's real and that's somebody that they can trust. And they don't know who to trust right now, but they trust you. And when that happens, it's like a magnet to people. We start to attract in because we share similar values. We know we can trust one another. And then we're better together. We'll figure out what the opportunity is. We will. It happens every time. For 20 years, all of the economic downturns that have happened, I've only grown. And I didn't have some big master plan for it heading into the tsunami. No, I trusted myself. I trusted my heart. And I waited for those other people to come in. And in a moment like this, they come in quickly. And if you time it just right, you can ride the wave of this time instead of like, it's raining on you the whole season. We don't want that. So my best advice for you, given everything that's going on, so take a pen and piece of paper, loving these comments in the chat. Thank you so much for your engagement. It really means so much. I don't want to cry, but I probably might. My sensitive heart. Okay. And by the way, please share this. Would you just please share it to your feed? Make a story about it, send an email about it, tell people about this series, please. Don't hold this for yourself because we all need help right now. Let's just be honest. Okay, best advice for entrepreneurs given everything that's going on so that you can ride this wave. Number 1, you have to embrace AI. You have to. You have to embrace AI starting now. The tool that I recommend is called Claude, Claude. I've tested tons of tools. I've spent tons of money figuring it out. So you don't have to. Claude, in my opinion, is the best. They are developing with speed, which I really appreciate. And it's a beautiful interface and it's just a good overall experience. And I have found it to be smarter than some of the other ones. So when AI first came out, I have to tell you, I was really, thank you. Thank you so much for reposting. Appreciate that. And thank you for telling me I'm rocking it. Thank you. The little kid in me is very excited right now. Okay, so when AI first came out, I have to tell you, I was scared. I was, because I'm a person that believes in human connection. So here's this bot coming in to take over the world. And I thought, oh my gosh, this isn't my world anymore. Like, I don't know how to operate in that world. I only know this one. And to take it so far, I took a huge stand. And when I published Infinite Impact last year, look what I did. It says human made right there on the cover. People are like, what does that mean? Well, I knew, I had the foresight to see that books that were human made and took a stance, these would be more coveted, right? Because anybody can write a book in a day using AI. Sorry, I don't stand for that. I use AI as a tool to enhance my productivity, to help me think faster, better, sharper, to free up my bandwidth so that I am sharper for my clients and better for my family. But it will never replace my voice, not ever, not ever. I take a stand for that. So, a lot of skepticism when AI first hit the market. And I remember, I think it was 10 months ago, I was having a conversation with Jen Gaudet, who's going to be on our Elevate series next Monday. What a powerhouse woman. Oh my goodness. Serial entrepreneur, corporate consultant, speaker, TV show host. Like, this speaker lineup is bananas. Okay. So I was talking to Jen about 10 months ago. We were talking about AI, and I had just sort of dabbled at that point. And she made a comment that said, entrepreneurs, like everybody in her circles were saying, entrepreneurs who do not adopt AI and take it seriously will start dropping like flies in 8 to 10 months. Their businesses will evaporate. And I remember thinking, note to self. But also that had confirmed what I had heard through my networks and what I sensed, because it was taking off too quickly to not have mass adoption and completely change the world. And I didn't want to be left behind. As an entrepreneur, it's different for us, right? I mean, my son Clay is on the line if I don't take this stuff seriously. It's his future at hand. My aging parents are on the line. I want to be able to take care of them. So this is so much bigger than my own desires and, my own instincts. Like, I have people in my life, my team, my clients, that I need to be on the razor's edge of evolution to protect all of these people and to offer my best to them. Same thing goes for you. So with AI, I knew I had to start digging in. So I just got a bunch of tools and it was really messy in the beginning, and just tried to figure it out. And I'm going to tell you a couple of things now that might really help you. And then we'll talk about more throughout the series and ongoing. Like, I'm not going anywhere, and there's always so much more I can share. I constantly feel constricted by time, which is so frustrating. But I'm not going anywhere. And there's a lot that I can share with you. So number one, here's a great, easy thing that you can do today. So sign up for Claude. I think it's like $17 a month. You can do that. It's going to be one of the best investments that you can make right now. Then I want you to pull out your iPhone, whatever phone, voice record. And I want you to hit record by yourself alone in your room. And I want you to just self-express. That's what I want you to do. And it could be just about the business. So for example, you could say, oh my gosh, I am stressed. I have this challenge, my team member, this thing, my finances, my clients, I'm noticing this decline, or my inventory isn't coming in from, overseas, or this is happening and I'm getting these threats or these challenges, whatever it is. I want you to dump it into that voice note recorder, all of it, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings, any detail that you can think of. And when you've fully let it out, and by the way, some of these sessions for me have taken as upwards of an hour where I'm just pacing and I am talking into my voice and I am fired up, right? And when you're done, you hit in record. And then I have a tool called Otter, Otter, otter.ai, where I upload the voice note into Otter to get a transcription. There are other tools out there too. And now I have a text note version of my audio note. Then what you're going to do is you're going to upload that into Claude. There's like a little plus button where you can upload a file into Claude. And then you write a prompt. Okay. And the prompt could say something like, objectively, what is the situation that I have just expressed in this voice note? And like, what do you see that I'm not seeing? Or what do you recommend I do to achieve X goal? Whatever you want to know, like as if you're talking to a genie or something like that. What do you really want to know? And there are some people out there, they're like, Amber, how dare you do that? Like that, don't you care about privacy and all of these things? And I'm going to just say to each their own. I personally am of the belief that nothing is safe or protected anymore. And I, am mindful of it. I'm not sloppy about it. I'm not irresponsible with it. But I also know that this is my survival on the line in terms of how I am engineering my future for the betterment of everybody around me. So I'm not going to necessarily hold back right now. I'm going to go for it. And so in the few times that I have done this over the last 3-4 months or whatever, it is shocking to me how AI can just go in 3 seconds. It can just say, here's exactly what I observed. This is why this is happening. These are why these 17 things are all interconnected. And here's the through line. And this is your way forward. It is like seeing through the trees. It's so fast and so accurate because I have front loaded it with all of that context. I think this alone could have been worth the time that we're spending together on the live stream and us moving forward together, because you don't have time to waste anymore. None of us do. No time to waste. TikTok. Because the more, if you're like, oh, I'll put it on the to-do list, Amber, and get to it next week. That week turns into a month. 3 months from now, you're so far behind the curve of where entrepreneurship is going. It is going to be really tough to catch up and to keep being on that front edge. And I'm not, again, doom gloom, not trying to scare you. I'm trying to help you see what is a priority to focus on. So instead of, binge watching Netflix at the end of the night because you are exhausted and escaping and need a mental break, we're going to have different activities to take care of our mental and emotional needs so that we have more resilience to do things like hop on the AI bandwagon and regain control of your business and your future. That's what we want to do. So for now, get Claude, voice note it, transcribe it, upload it, ask it some questions, lots of different questions, engage with it, have a conversation with it, play with it, and then we'll take the next step because there's so much more that I want to share with you, but this is a really good step for now. The next thing I want you to hear today in terms of my advice for entrepreneurship, and I've alluded to it, is you've got to take better care of yourself now than you ever have before. In moments like this, where we're kind of under this pressure cooker, it is more important now than ever before to do the right things to take care of your total well-being, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. And this is against what we want to do, because what we want to do is pound sugar, pound caffeine, pound alcohol, because it gives us really sugar to keep us going because we are in an anxiety-ridden state. And so naturally we point to outlets that give us this temporary satisfaction of a release. But what happens is now you have to make up for that release. And so your exhaustion is double by having those outlets. I am so careful about what I put into my body in moments of high pressure like this. For example, 6 months ago, I could have watched a true crime drama. I could have listened to sad music. I could have had that extra piece of chocolate or stayed up a little later. I could have done those things. Not now. It's a non-negotiable because I know that I need to be operating 100% all the time. And if I do those things, I'll burn out. And if I burn out, I won't be able to think as sharply and I'm going to lose business. I could lose my business, like not worth it. So instead, I only listen to positive music. Only listen to positive music. Even when I'm sad, I only listen to positive music. I only watch positive TV. I don't watch anything that is scary. I don't watch anything that's depressing. I only watch positive shows or listen to positive podcasts. Instagram, let's talk about social media. My social media is such a, Michael, nothing wrong with an extra piece of chocolate. Hey, my friend, you know what I'm saying. My social media is such a beautiful place to be. It is such a beautiful place to be. And I'm not on it very often. I mean, like we're talking 10, 20 minutes a day tops. But when I go into social media, I see artists. I listen to musicians. I have people that are offering spiritual advice. My social media is full of things that are life-giving, not things that are life-taking. I don't follow other internet marketers really. Because otherwise I know me. In a moment like this, I'll get so spun up in comparison and imposter syndrome that it will literally freeze me. I will do nothing. I will take no action and I will feel sorry for myself. So how about airing that out on public social media here? But hey, you got to know yourself. And I know that I have a tendency to slip back into that insecurity, the worthlessness that I felt as a teenager. It's just a part of my DNA. So I have to work extra hard to make sure that I have very strict, non-negotiable guardrails around what I'm eating, how much sleep I'm getting, the water that I'm drinking, the vitamins and supplements that I take, the exercise, getting outside, playing soccer for hours with Clay when I don't want to. And all I want to do is go like rest and watch a show or something and just zone out. No, I go outside and I play soccer because at the end of the day, that's better for me. I'm better for it. So just please be mindful. We also have Dr. Ryan Williamson coming in, who's a board certified neurologist. His interview is a cannot miss in the series. It's next Thursday, where we are going to be talking about cognitive intervention. Cognitive intervention. How can we possibly better protect our brain so that we can show up better for everybody around us? Okay, next piece of advice for entrepreneurs. Do not stop spending necessarily, asterisks to each their own, but make smarter investments. Okay, so do you need 8 streaming subscriptions to all the TV shows? Is that really the best use of your time right now? Or can you cut out most of those, keep 1 or 2, save an extra couple $100 a month and invest that into getting a coach that's going to be a place for you to vent, a place for you to get resilient, a place for you to heal and to get better advice that's going to keep you going strong? Which one? Or to get a personal trainer or. So I'm not trying to give you financial advice, but I am trying to illustrate a point of it's a right time to look at all of the areas that you're spending your money and thinking, what am I willing to temporarily give up on so that I can have more, extra spending money. Thank you, Jess. To then invest in hiring people who know how to do what I am trying to go out in the world and do. People who know how to save my business, people who know how to take better care of my body and prevent burnout, for example. These are things that I would really strongly encourage you to be thinking about right now, because the entrepreneurs who are going to win in this season aren't going to be the ones with the biggest budgets or the most followers. They're not. It's going to be the ones who build resilient businesses based on authentic self-expression. Because again, about 20 minutes ago, I was talking about how important it is that in an age of mistrust and disillusionment, our intuition, our emotional guidance system, it kicks in higher than ever before, more in tune, trying to weed out the BS from what's real. And then that magnet is going to pull you in to people that you feel safe with, who are real, people that you can trust. That could be you, but we need to get you to use your voice and not hide, not wait to see what happens next. I was running one of my in-person events. I do these twice a year. The next one is coming up in September in Boulder, Colorado. This last one was in Austin, Texas. And a member of the audience said, well, Amber, sounds nice that you're telling people to do all of these things, but I don't have any money. I don't have any money. How am I supposed to get my message out? How am I supposed to get my message online and help people? I loved this question. You knew I was ready for it. I said, well, the good news is that you can do this for free. And she looked at me like I was a snake oil salesperson or something, but it's true. I said, you know what? It costs nothing to pick up your phone, hit record a video, and share your heart and your wisdom and your best advice in 60 seconds, or do a YouTube live stream. And I don't care if you're on there for 6 hours, if that's what's in your heart to share, but do it, and do it every single day. If you could actually do that every single day, you would have plenty of business. You would, because I've been doing this for 20 years. I know the laws of the internet marketing world. You would have plenty of business if you did that. So that's why I keep talking about what's really going on beneath the surface with you. Maybe you're an introvert. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you don't believe in yourself. I'm loving these comments right now. Thank you. Maybe you don't feel like you have enough energy. So that's why we're talking about taking care of yourself and resiliency. I tend to go deeper than what other people are talking about, because a lot of internet marketing experts right now, they're going to tell you to go buy ClickFunnels and set up your funnel and do paid advertising. And there's another 30 grand lost, and set up your website and do all of these things. But you don't need any of that to begin. What you need is to use your voice and use your phone and stream or do video on social media, and just start attracting in your qualified people, and then ask them what they need. What do you want? Maybe they say, gosh, I just love who you are and how you show up in the world. I don't know anybody like you. I'm really lonely in my world. My spouse doesn't understand. I don't have friends where I am. I don't have entrepreneurs that get me. Gosh, I just wish you would start a membership. I wish I could be around other people like you. Boom, an offer is born. And it doesn't have to be like the thing you do for the next 10 years. It might be, but it could be something temporary. It could mean that for the next 3 months or the next 6 months or the next year, you hold a membership to hold space. You're giving people what they're asking you for, and then you shift into something else. For those of you who are around at the very beginning of this, I was telling you that in 2020, I ran an Elevate Live series back in 2020. And I listened to what people asked me for, and they wanted me to set up like live stream shows for them. I had never done that before. I mean, I was doing this live stream, but like a show, like a live stream podcast show back then, I hadn't done that before, but I knew about podcasting. I knew about live streaming. So I put all of the things I knew about together into a package, and lots of people bought it and they loved it. They saw such success with it. I remember Chris Smith, he got 68% engagement on his live stream. Anytime he would open up, 68% engagement. Les Brown, with millions of followers, no offense to Les, got 4%. And other big influencers were getting 4% engagement. My shows were getting 50% plus. So sometimes you can open up just a really short-term offer, And I don't do that. I mean, I think I did it for maybe a year and a half, and then I discontinued it. And because my book launch service just exploded. I mean, we ended up hitting Inc. 5000, one of the fastest growing companies in America. I didn't know that that was going to happen just because I showed up and held space and I was kind to people, loved on people, didn't have a big ego, didn't make it all about transaction, just made it about showing up when I was hurting too. You know, I was hurting too. I'm human. And so I know that you can do this. It's just going to take you embracing AI, getting more resilient, surrounding yourself with better people, being really careful about what you're putting in your body, investing in places that are going to expedite your growth, that are going to support your growth. Another one is it's just going to mean you got to trust yourself, which I know is hard to do because you've made bad choices before or wrong choices before. You've had mistakes or like you've been burned before. We all have, right? And it's really hard to trust yourself sometimes. But that's why I'm going to make a very clear distinction about what moments like this with the pressure cooker of humanity, when it comes in, I'm going to tell you which voice to listen to because it's usually not this one. Your brain is designed to protect you, and it goes haywire in moments like this. Oh my God, the trade war, there's not going to be toilet paper. What am I going to do? I've got to go stock up right now. Or, oh my gosh, my business is going to, this one client left. Now all of the clients are going to leave. And then what's going to happen? I'm going to have to get a job at a Starbucks barista. And you start like planning for all of these worst case scenarios, which has value. So I'm not telling you not to pay attention to that, but understand what it is doing. It is designed to breed anxiety and trouble, and it can just like run the show. So I listened to that, but lately I've been voice noting it down and getting AI to help me structure my thoughts into what do I really need to objectively pay attention to in all of that noise. I also need to be careful about listening to my heart because with my heart especially, I tend to put myself last. It's just the way I observed growing up. That's what everybody else did, so that's what I did, and that is not healthy or sustainable. So like my mind, I listen to it, but I need to know how to navigate my heart too, so that I am still showing up responsibly for myself and those that are immediately around me while helping the greater good. So I've got to be careful about listening to my head and my heart in moments of crisis like now. And what I listen to more than any other voice is the voice of my intuition or my instinct, if that's a better word for you, that gut instinct that when you're driving down the road and you take a left, that gut instinct says, I think I was supposed to take a right turn back there. Your mind had no evidence to support that, right? It's just your gut instinct. That third voice is the one that I would 10x right now. I would listen so strongly to that voice. If that voice said, I think I should email that old colleague from 4 years ago, do it. Don't even wait. Do it right now. I think I should go live like Amber did. That was kind of inspiring. Maybe I could just do a test and see what happens. Do it. Don't wait. Do it today. Do it right now. I think I should try out that AI thing. Do it. Don't wait. Do it right now. Trust that voice because the more you take immediate action on that voice, the louder and stronger it becomes. And you will start to see a pattern of success when you listen to that instinct for things. My instinct says I should turn off this garbage show and go listen to a positive podcast or get outside. Yes, right? You'll start to see it giving you better, honest, grounded advice. I think I need to take a nap right now. Oh my God, but you can't take a nap right now. All of this stuff is going on and the world will collapse and all the reasons why you can't take a nap. Listen to the voice of your intuition. It's there to protect you. So that would be another piece of advice for entrepreneurs today. Listen, I know we've been going for a while now, and I just want to wind down with a couple of last key points. You know, it is so natural to hide when we're afraid, to wait and see what happens next. in my experience, you're not going to get a thunderbolt of clarity that tells you what to do for the next year or two. You will see a few steps ahead of you on the road. That's what you get. You get the few steps ahead of you on the road. But when you take a step, you can see another step forward. You take a step, you see another step forward. And you're just going to have to trust that process now, because that's what you're going to get. That's as much vision as you might get. Now, you could predict all day long. I predict that, for example, because AI is just rampaging through business right now and through corporate especially. I think that AI replacing 300 million jobs in the next less than 5 years, I think that is absolutely true, and it's probably going to happen even sooner. I think a lot of employees are going to really be in harm's way. And I think that they won't exactly know what to do, but a good measure, and I hope all of them, but a good measure of them are going to think, maybe I should take control of my own future and become an entrepreneur. And I'm going to say, yes, welcome. I'll give you everything I know and everything that I have to help you on your path, right? You can do this. Take life into your own hands. Be self-sufficient and self-reliant. Be free. This is what's possible with entrepreneurship. As long as you surround yourself with the right people who are not just smoke and mirrors and transactions and taking advantage, but those who really want to fight your fight and be alongside you, those people. And I think that I predict we're going to see a huge surge in entrepreneurship, which is also going to mean competition is going to be coming in, which is already pretty intense for entrepreneurs. So, what are you going to be doing now to prepare for that? But I think even taking it a step further, what's going to happen is we're going to start seeing more collectives, groups of businesses that come together aligned in values, that share a common vision and cause, that are better together, and together they rise, together they are stronger. So you're going to see these micro economies essentially that will rise up over the next 5 to 10 years. And these are good things to be thinking about, because what role, thanks Michael, good to see you, what role do you want to play in that new world? Are you still going to be like a stunned sheep, one waiting to see what happens next? Or are you going to say, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I know I want to play. I know I want to play. I know I don't want to feel like I'm being punished right now. I want to play. So I'm going to take my personal fitness better. I'm going to get my mind sharp again. And I'm going to learn AI, and I'm going to get in this game, and I'm going to have some fun. And I'm going to build great relationships with incredible people. And I'm going to use my voice and self-express and invite others to come along where I'm going. That's what the Elevate series is all about. And this is just the kickoff. Later today, in a couple of hours, I go live with Ryan Levesque, which I am super excited about. So Ryan is a 7-time Inc. 5000 winner. As somebody who did it once, okay, I can't even wrap my brain around how intense that must have been to be a 7-time Inc. 5000 winner. That must have been so intense. I cannot wait to ask him about how the heck he did that, what he knows, what rules he lives by, what he's seeing in the world right now, what conversations he's having behind closed doors, how he's pivoted in his company. That's happening today. Tomorrow, I get to interview Justin Donald, Wall Street Journal bestselling author of The Lifestyle Investor. Justin has surrounded himself by some of the top net worth individuals, period. He's pulled them together into his mastermind. He's also a part of Tiger 21 and other networks as well. So I'm really curious, not just from a corporate standpoint, like we get to talk about with Ryan, but what's happening in investor land right now and what can we learn from there? We have Ashish Katari coming in on Wednesday, who is a 17-year former McKinsey consultant, still surrounding himself by total brilliance. McKinsey consultants and his own team that he has personally curated to come in and talk to you about what's going on between AI and the trade war and entrepreneurial resilience and so much more. So, I mean, that's just in the next couple of days. We're going through most of the month of May to help you get really clear on your values, your beliefs, your vision, your game plan. I invite you in to my community to make it your community. Okay. Everything here is an available resource for you. I know Megan, so appreciate you being here today. She's putting stuff up on the screen for me, but you can go to ambervilhauer.com/elevate. I'll show you just really briefly what that looks like here. You can join the community to get access to all of the replays, transcripts, and special speaker gifts, but you don't have to because we're streaming this live. It's free for everybody. There's no wall here. I want everybody to have access to this information, so please help me share it on your feed. But you'll be able to scroll down and meet all of the incredible speakers that we have, as well as see what the schedule is. And I recommend you just put this on your calendar as an event and tune in. I know there's a lot going on in your life, but there's nothing more important than getting the right information and the right perspective and worldview so that you know what to do in your circumstance to protect your team, your family, and your community. That's all I want, is just to share this advice with you. So that's where you can go to get some of that information. And oh my gosh, I'd love, in the last minute, can you do me a favor and put in comments, what is one thing that you appreciate about our time together today? Just one thing. Reflect back. We've talked about my personal story and mission, which is really just to be here in service to you, give humbly and respectfully and my kindness, everything I can to be a better model for you out in the world right now. We talked about what's really going on between AI and trade, inflation, recession, all the things. We talked about entrepreneurship. Love that for you, Mendy. Thank you so much. And I gave you some advice, some really practical on how to use AI step by step as just a starting point. We'll expand more on that as we continue to go into taking care of your well-being. What's something that you appreciate about this time together today? I would really value knowing that. And I just end with asking you to walk away from this and really just consider what you want this story to be for you. Do you want it to be full of fear and anxiety, survival, punishment, sadness, anger, snapping at your kids, snapping at your spouse, contention, disconnection, conflict, pressure? That is a possibility, but I'm here to tell you there's another option. And it's one that I uphold for myself and my kid and my team and my clients and my community every day. We have a choice, and you're going to fall. I fall. I have terrible moments sometimes, but then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to choose to shift and rise up again and to lean into what's hard, to have unwavering excellence, to meaningfully connect with other leaders in collaboration so that we're better together, so that I end every day feeling deeply fulfilled, safe, and free. I want to thank you so much for your time and energy. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments. And I hope to see you at 11 a.m. Pacific for Ryan Levesque's 30-minute interview. Thank you guys so much. Really grateful to be here.